Well, let's see if they can keep it going, though, and win a game number 3 as we head into Volskaya Foundry against GLuck. And surprise, surprise, I'm pretty sure Medivh is banned before the lobby even starts.
There it is. Medivh is banned. As the team said themselves, there's no way Medivh is going to get let through. Mostly because, of course, if you're a team like Team GLuck and you've struggled all phase long, you don't want to be messed with in terms of, you don't want to be that team that struggles against Medivh. You don't want to be out-rotated. You don't want to be denied kills when you thought you had them. Medivh is one of those few characters in Heroes of the Storm that can not only defeat you physically, but also mentally, where you're like, we can't even focus anyone. Nobody's going to die. What can we do against Medivh?
And with that, we are going to see very standard bans overall, but Diablo chosen over Maiev. GLuck maybe a little bit shaded by that Maiev pick last time. It did not work out for them. So Trogg, they're going to get that for free if they want it, and they do. Picking up Hanzo as well.
Oh man, now Sizeman on his baby boy Hanzo. We have Maiev back in the mix there as well. That worked so well in game 1. I don't know, man. Diablo's a strong hero, don't get me wrong, but this is looking a little scary right now for Team GLuck here. They picked the Deckard at least. Deckard also had a couple of really awesome moves last game. Those clutch saves, those strong survival moments there when he kept himself alive.
Sometimes the best thing you can do as Deckard is be the bait. Sometimes that is what happens. It's like old Rhaegar, only slightly less broken, where the whole thing is, hey, I'm the support, I'm going to frontline, nothing could ever go wrong. Oh no, I've been ganked. Self-ancestral, self-cleanse, bye. That's like, thank God, been patched, because that was super broken. But now we have, now we're going to have the Blaze getting removed and a Malthael removed. Interesting. Malthael against Diablo is, of course, fantastic, and anti-healing against Deckard is always decent, but it might give the implication that they want Yrel, but they're not going to get it, because Trogg will just take it now, right?
I'm pretty sure they're going to take it, unless they have a different strategy prepared. But that Blaze ban, it just smells like Yrel, right? Because Blaze Yrel still, although they were nerfed a little bit, still considered to be some of the top-tier solo laners. Yrel still makes plays happen. Yrel with white main combos off extremely well in particular, because they can stack their armor on top of each other, right? You go for the Scarlet Aegis, Yrel jumps in as well, and boom, you're going to have that 70 armor.
Exactly. So now with white main getting picked up as well, with all that armor being added, potential for big fight areas if they go for the Warden's Cage style, because they've left their tank open. They can even go for a Nubrak again, but you're against Diablo, so it's slightly, I like this. Zeratul Li Ming. What were you doing well with last time? A little bit of burst. What were you struggling with? Accidentally sticking people in cocoons. What do you do this time? Take a tank that can't do that, and 2 incredibly burst-heavy assassins.
Yeah, so this is not only a really bursty comp, as you said right now, with a lot of dangerous assassins, but also they were expecting the Anubarak here, because Trogg has played it in the past. And what is good against Cocoon? It is Disintegrate still. Li Ming so solid. So, oh, yes! Oh. I loved you before, Trogg, but now you're my favorite team ever.
Okay. Varian versus Zeratul is already pretty decent. You've got great silence to prevent him from teleporting out. You have the potential. This is going to be main tank, so this will be taunt.
Yes.
No, do not get ahead of yourself, chat. But it also gives option for killing the shield. You can go percentage damage. There's several really good options to go with this variant. Like if you went for, instead of the shield wall, which is probably what they're picking because they're against Li Ming, but you could go for the extra charge cooldown reduction and the percentage damage with Juggernaut at level 13.
Okay, just making sure that McIntyre is not in the game. No, he hasn't transitioned over to Korea. Good. So it is probably going to be a taunt variant. I agree. We're not in NA where people don't play with tanks. They go Zul double support and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a taunt. As you mentioned, super good against Zeratul if you catch him in there.
You actually bring up a really good point in the fact that if they didn't want to go for taunt variant, this is the comp they do it with, because they've got Yrel armor, they've got white main armor, they have all of this extra protection. If there was a comp, it would be this one, but it's gotta be taunt. Just for Zeratul. Just for Zeratul.
Just for Zeratul, I mean, you also have some really good counter-ups done here with the Dragon's Arrow, maybe with Maiev, also with the Tether, so you can really make those plays happen. Yeah, we don't see the High King's quest. Now, It can be played, or damage variant can sometimes be played without it, but it's definitely not the common standard. So I think it's going to be a standard taunt variant.
Varian's actually very flexible in the fact that all of his builds can be played with any of his like talents from 1 to all the way from 1 to 7.
1 to 7.
Except for the fact that you probably want the
second win for Twin Blades.
Yeah, go over Twin Blades. Yeah, that's the only one that's a requirement, I'd say.
Whoa, whoa.
Getting dropped low, Rainer getting taken out, Maiev doing Maiev things. That was just a massacre.
Petra, I'm feeling right at home now. This is looking like HGC China. Both teams just going ham, going at it in the middle for no reason. But of course, you know, killing a member in the middle lane, like this is probably the reason why it even became a trend here. Of course, players being a little bloodlusty, but also if you kill a member or two in the middle in an early skirmish, you slow down the rotations, right? And because Team GLuck didn't have Rainer, they're now slower clearing the top, and that gives a speed advantage over to Trogg. So it's not, you know, that it's completely useless to brawl in the middle, it's just usually not worth going all out.
Exactly. So for now, we're going to see a very quick support camp being picked up because they can. Trogg gets that biotic emitter, and they're going to head probably straight down to the fortification camp as well with 2 members and begin focusing on that. But they can't afford to lose bot XP, so they need to pay attention and keep that rotation going. And
honestly, that mercenary camp early pickup, that was also a straight up consequence of that Rainer kill. Because they killed Rainer in the middle, they had this push in the top lane. The enemy Team GLuck then had to, first of all, take care of the wave, and they also sent someone else to the bottom. So they found that weak spot, they found that opening Team Trogg, that is, and they got themselves this super early, super convenient, though, healing pulse, now currently equipped on Sizeman.
So, with that, they are able to begin, continue their rotations. They finally settled into a lane setup, with Angel Wing picking up their nice little turret as well, with the healing camp, as you already said, on Sizeman. They're looking good right now. They've got the level 4s. Varian is holding, but of course it's going to be taunt.
Yeah, the taunt. We need the additional control over team fights, the additional lockdown on heroes like Zeratul. So at this point, if anyone is out of position, it's going to be really dangerous. Varian excels in the early game, really strong with that change on the level 4 heroic abilities. We don't see Varian all too often anymore, mind you, but still, if played correctly, you don't even have to ask me, but he's still a very, very dangerous hero.
You are very much right. The question is, how much are they going to be able to do with that? We have a pause. I've just... I don't know if you saw that as well, but the observer's name is literally Sorry. So it's just like, so it's Sorry has paused the game.
You know, actually, that's a smart thing, right? It also makes sense. You know, we're sorry for the pause, guys, as per usual, but the players need their good circumstances to work with.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Fair enough. It's a great name. All right, cool. So, yeah, very nicely done. So far, a slight lead coming in for the Troggs, but it's nothing that GLuck can't come back from. Give them some time, give them a little bit of adjustment here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, having the item superiority is a nice thing to have, but it's not going to win you a team fight just alone, because healing pulses, you know, they do heal, they do replenish mana, but it's not an absurd amount, and secondly, they can also be focused down pretty heavily. The turrets are a little bit of a different story, and that is oftentimes why we rate turrets a little more highly, right? Because they zone the opponents more, they're beefier, they can intercept skill shots quite nicely, whereas the healing pulse, if you misplace it, it's going to get taken out super quick.
Exactly. So then, with that, a fantastic start, but the question is, how are they going to be able to get the second rotation? They have okay camp clear, but it's not the fastest in the world until Hanzo's fully stacked. So are they going to be able to get that second fortification camp in time for the objective? This is obviously the dream. If you can either delay the objective or grab it pre the objective, if you're quick enough with your rotations to grab that fortification camp very early, that can give you domination over that first protector point.
Yeah, I think you're right there. And also, especially Team Trogg, right? They really need to turn up the pace a little bit, because Varian traditionally falls off a little bit in the late game, right? He does have a couple of cool talents, like the banners, like the Mortal Strike, for example, to lower the healing done to the target. There it is, the Sorry again, by the way. Now I saw it too. Super cool. But yeah, they need to get a nice lead. If they fall behind by 1, 2, or even 3 levels, then Varian is going to be close to no factor in this game.
With that, we are going to see the control coming in from Angelwing, trying to drag in Diablo. The taunt is there. Can they finish the job? Yarel desperately trying to body block. Whitemane is doing any damage she can from the back, but she obviously doesn't have a huge amount of damage output.
Tetra, such a big win for Team Trogg already. They zoned out Diablo. He was brought down to the brink of death. And look where the red turret is at. It doesn't shoot anyone on the platform. It was forced out early as well, while Team Trogg still has both of their items. So this should be their protector unless they misplay heavily.
Right now, we do see Gluck in position, going to try and take a little bit more control here. Going to try and get some percentage of their own, 44-3 right now. Ignore distractions from Hanzo. We see this a fair amount on this map where Hanzo just hovers. You see Hanzo just hovering a little bit above the objective, and if he pings a minion, he gains immediately extra attack range, which means he can ping a minion and ping a hero, ping a minion, ping a hero. It gives him a great amount of long-range poke on this map in particular, where there's no bosses that benefit from that level 4 easy opponent.
Yeah, it allows him to stay much more safely, you know, against heroes like Diablo and Zeratul. It's going to be much harder for them to catch Hanzo when he doesn't have to expose himself too much. But yeah, I think at this point, Gluck shouldn't even try to contest this anymore. You know, they still take up that turret, so that's a nice thing to have for sure. But I think they should realize that unless they find a good pick, which at the moment doesn't really look like it, there's nothing they can do. Zeratul maybe with a good flank can cause a little bit of trouble, a little bit of confusion here. But the turret is placed. The 99% hold is about to happen for Team Trogg.
They're holding it right now. Gluck trying to force their way onto the point. Scroll of Sealing does not land, but the Emerald does. Good anti-healing, but they do a huge dive onto Overlord. That easy, quick pick-up kill.
The turret is still standing, though. They're taking a little bit of damage right now from that Li Ming. All it takes is one reset for the Li Ming, and she's about to get it here. The healing just too good. Li Ming falls at the very end here. After all, it's a double kill. God. It's a disaster, Tetra.
Absolutely beautiful turnaround coming in here, using that taunt on Zeratul as well for the last second, preventing him wormholing out, and they turn this around. They've gone for second wind anyway, just to stay in the fights. They have a Diablo to just heal off of constantly. Beautiful moves by the Trogs, and they're going to be able to take down this front wall. Question is, how much more can they get?
Yeah, and they don't even waste any time to get that gate. All they would accomplish doing so was taking additional damage onto the Protector. We want to keep this guy as healthily as you can here, going for as many towers as possible, maybe even now applying some additional pressure onto this top fort. And look at the target prioritization here as well, going immediately for the healing fountain because that second Protector is going to be in the top lane. So if you demolish top lane, you're going to have a mighty good time for that next fight. Zeratul, though, chasing down Jackpot. Urel using the conveyor belts. Can she make it happen? No, she can't.
Still gets taken out. Good attempt to survive in the end, but it did not work out at all. And with that, we are going to see the Protector. It does good damage at top, but it's already low enough with Hanzo inside it. They don't want to take the risk, and they will back up. We do see that charge cooldown reduction and the charge to allies coming in.
The Warbringer being deployed here. Normally, we're used to seeing Shield Wall still, although it was changed and nerfed quite a bit from Variant's original form. But if you look at it, there is a lot of burst damage available, especially against Li Ming, who capitalized so heavily on cooldown resets. I think Shield Wall could have been great. You could have sometimes baited Li Ming into a false sense of security. But with Warbringer, on the other hand, you have a lot more mobility, right? As you said, you can charge towards allies to prevent those cooldown resets, maybe if Variant falls low in health. Or you could just be a sticky hero, right? You prevent enemies from running away from you. And maybe, Tetra, we're going to see the 13 Juggernaut percentage damage on the charge against high HP targets like Diablo.
Ooh, quite possibly. This is what I was calling pre the game starting, sorry, post the draft. And that would be cool to see, the ability to just dive in over and over again. With Taunt, you'll basically become the stickiest person on the planet. No one's getting away from you at that point. The question is, can you survive during it? You are very much reliant on your second wind there, as opposed to the Shield Wall, which is the main survivability tool of Varian. And without it, he is now very vulnerable to Li Ming.
Yeah, maybe the thought process here is as well that Whitemane is going to provide 40 armor anyway, so that should be enough burst protection that he doesn't even need the shield wall, because if you think about it, if you go shield wall and you protect yourself while the 40 armor on you, you're wasting a short time window while this armor could have protected you.
Yeah, exactly. So now then, we see them moving down, waiting for their opportunity to get level 13, XP being gained in the opposite lanes. I'm so happy we're seeing this variant. No one saw it coming. It's cool to see it come out, and it's working so well. We always see variants and we doubt them, but against a Li Ming Zeratul combo, it's such a clutch choice. You know me. I'm always happy to talk down on Varian, but this is great.
I'm used to it, man. I'm used to Varian being the scapegoat for all sorts of things that go wrong, but I still believe in him. I never stop believing in my baby boy. And the cool thing is about Varian, a lot of people have this stereotype of him in their minds of being super aggressive, right? You lock someone down with a taunt, but Varian can also be a very defensive warrior, especially with this build where you just charge to the engaging warrior, you taunt them away from your backline. So he's more flexible than many people think he is.
Exactly. We're seeing Yrel taking a little bit of damage. Lightning Breath being used. Dragon Arrow keeps Jackpot alive, though. Quick finds Steed for a tiny bit of extra speed boost and will be able to pull away.
Wow, and she bought so much time, she created so much space that they were going to get another healing pulse. The VP comes in as well, but how much follow-up damage are they going to have here?
Oh boy. That was a 3v5 for a while. Here comes a containment disc. Can they get anything more? No, Jackpot actually disengages them as opposed to turning for the counter here. Angel Wing pulls in KCB, but they turn it round. Rockstar has gone far too deep. He will survive, though, this time, able to pull back.
So although they weren't able to get any kills, Team GLuck, that is, they still forced out a lot of items. The turret, the healing pulse. So basically this Earth camp was worth nothing. This mercenary camp was worth nothing for Team Trogg. 13, by the way, it is not going to be the Juggernaut for Varian. It will be the Mortal Strike. Certainly very useful still against all that self-heal, against all the healing tools available for them.
Right now, this is looking like bad times for GLuck, level 13, soon to be level 14, available for Trogs, whereas they don't even have level 13 yet, only halfway through level 12. This is going to be potentially another Protector about the same time that GLuck will grab level 13, if not a little bit later.
All right, 13 around the corner for Team GLuck, and that's exactly what they need. A couple of interesting talents we could see there. For example, the teleport range coming in for Li Ming to maybe secure a kill or two. Zeratul, they saw him though. They pinged on him, I think. So that should be a big surprise coming through. It's a very tense moment right now. Trogg should try to wait before they engage until Yrel has her Ardent Defender back online.
And they are being very patient so far, waiting their opportunity.
They can steal the turret too in the bottom.
They can. The question is it going to be what they try, and will it work out? Li Ming will spot it. Can they do it fast enough? Myson sees it. Jackpot decides against it. Very wise. Look how many people are rotating down from GLuck. Everyone, basically, except for Zeratul.
Yeah, and especially White Mane wasn't with them, right? If you don't have your support in those choke points, then it's very risky against the Li Ming and the fellow team members to go all in for just a mercenary camp. China would do it. Korea, not so much.
We're seeing Isaac eating a little bit of Banshee damage, but nothing too serious for the moment. Agent Wing, a little bit of poke damage of his own.
Now we've got a 5 versus 5 pitcher, 75 to 75. It's a dead even fight, quite literally here. Healing potions are spread nicely. And this is the beautiful thing about having a Decker Cane, right? You can preemptively spread your healing, and that makes it so much easier for your members to stay sustained during those fights.
Begin moving forward. In comes the Dragon Arrow. Gets dodged, though. Overlord using the conveyor belt to kite Angel Wing back. Is getting body block completely used to containment disc. Give himself an escape route. Is able to teleport away. But now Jackpot is very far forward. The mobile lightning breath coming in. The food truck charging forward. Jackpot gets the Ardent Defender off, surviving this time. But Isaac
they got it.
The main tank down. The Protector is available, but Jackpot will drop. Wishing gets taken out as well. That's 2 for 0. But the Protector is wading forward, looking to try and get some counter kills.
Overlord
is getting chased down. Overlord and Rockstar pick up another kill. 3 for 0.
Honestly, that was not a good trade for Team Trogg. Are they going to get Zeratul with a machine gun? Yes, they will. All right, consolation kill. At least a little something here for Team Trogg next to the map objective. But look at all the damage that Team GLuck was able to dish out here. They need to compensate all the combat experience from that team fight that Team GLuck was able to get by taking down forts. Middle has fallen, top has fallen as well. And that's Tetra why we still see that 1 level lead for Team Trogg. True, it was a slugfest, but it was a victory nonetheless.
I was wondering if Overlord was actually going to chase into that like Finn choke point area against a Protector, aka wondering whether he was actually going to just kill himself there. But in this case, he does wait until the Protector's in a much safer position. He can get the wraparound much safer. Very wise. Good job, Overlord.
All right, they take down a healing fountain here as well, and that was a small play, but a play that could have some great value overall, because that next Protector, ladies and gentlemen, will be in the bottom lane. So if you don't have that self-sustaining healing tool available, sometimes you need to back down and hand over the objective. The first rotation, of course, for the Protector will always be mid, top, bottom.
And now then, with the Protector finally expiring, they were able to take down 2 forts here, so good news there. Going to give them a nice little bit of map control. However, they need to not lose Isaac here, who's dropping super low. And yeah, well, Whitemane not in position. Isaac overextended, he dies. Down goes Wishing as well by the looks of it.
That is probably going to be a bloodbath
nice
here.
dive.
What kill for Team GLuck. They found a lonely variant and they showed no signs of mercy whatsoever. That was the beautiful location for Diablo to find and engage on. The VP to isolate him and prevent the follow-up support from happening was really well executed there as well. Team GLuck, ladies and gentlemen, they're back in this game.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened. You should not have let yourself get caught out there. In this case, though, they do. And as such, they have to play a little bit safer now with level 17, soon to be 18, available for GLuck. GLuck, ahead in experience for the first time in this game, and Trogg waiting for everyone to respawn at this point. Maiev just grabbing a mercenary camp to get something on the map.
Yeah, and that is, of course, the downside, of course, as well, from not going Shield Wall. With Shield Wall, maybe Varian could have bought these precious seconds to stay alive and buy enough time for his allies to help him in combat. As it is, couldn't even dash to an ally without Warbringer, so yeah, especially Varian needs to be a little more careful. He's not that beefy late-game juggernaut like a Diablo, like a Muradin, who can bait an endless excess of damage onto himself. He needs to be super careful.
Right now, we see mercenaries being cleaned up in the top lane, whereas bot lane is just being killed for minions. Experience is the name of the game for these teams, as 20 might be feasible for either of these teams pre the next objective, or at least during it. So experience as fast as possible and as much as possible is #1 priority.
Tetra, what do you think about the late game scaling here? Because we're approaching late game, we're getting closer to level 20, and I look at Team GLuck and I'm starting to get really worried for Team Trogg, right? Late game Zeratul, level 20 is a beast with that self-healing that he's got available from that cleave build. The VPs are so scary as well. I'm not sure how much late game power they have to put against that.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. They drop the containment disc more as an escape tool than anything else. Don't get anything out of it. It's a low cooldown, still 40 seconds on it. So they're going to be able to at least relax with that a little bit. But seriously, this is starting to get tense here. Trogg, they are still so much further away from level 20. Angel Wing has to use Vault of the Wardens, but Jackpot dives in. Quick stop, saves a Dragon Arrow. They turn it around towards onto Roxor, but the Lord Nado gets to disengage.
Healing Pulse being deployed, 2-man VP. Roxor is low, but he's still alive. But can GLuck actually punch through this?
The Healing Pulse is doing a fantastic job. Zeratul's the first to fall. He had to walk out of the Healing Pulse.
Resets.
But the Arcade Orbs are coming in. Like I said, the resets. Li Ming is able to get a triple kill here. Looks for the Quadra, and Myson just destroyed Trogg in that fight. 20's available, and so will the Protector. That will be the first Protector GLuck will get this game.
Man, Myson just popping off on the Li Ming, making his opponents feel miserable about themselves. Now, there is... Okay, that was a disaster for Team Trogg, but there's still one good thing that this team fight brought with it, and that is the fact that they're now empty and dry on items, Team GLuck, that is. No more Healing Pulse. 2 turrets were used in that fight as well. They really didn't want to give in. They really didn't want to lose it. However, Tetra, there is 2 more turrets available, and they're going to grab them all. GLuck is right now playing the map so well.
With that Team GLuck waiting for Zeratul to respawn, but they have so much time. They are not channeling. Rain was dancing on and off the points, so fair enough. He keeps the channel up, and with 50% only just now a Trogg coming back to life, they don't have level 20 yet. This will 100% be a Protector.
Yeah, the low cooldowns on the mercenaries here in Volskaya, of course, allow GLuck to restore all the items that they lost in this previous engagement. Healing Pulse probably won't be contested, and they now see as well, Team Trogg, that is, they see that the objective is not channeling. That needs to tell them one thing. They now are facing a 5-man unit, or at least a 4-man unit with a 5th player very close by. So they didn't want to engage. Sometimes when you're 19-20 and you know it's a 5 versus 4, you can still make something happen despite not having level 20. But with that insecurity, with the lack of vision, Team Trogg is very smart not to force the issue.
And so, We see the move in coming in with KCP holding the line for the moment. And we see instead Trogg, they're not raiding this as GLuck would be thinking, which is why they rotated down there. Instead, Trogg are grabbing more experience. They want 20 for this defense, of course, and they're going to get this by pushing top and opening up a potential end game position later on.
Yeah, so 2 members are forced to stay with this Protector, right? At least one is for now. If one person doesn't really trigger the 10 armor, doesn't trigger the bonus damage, so this push on the top lane to force as much distance as they can between the Protector and the remaining member is actually very smart.
Root coming in, but they've already used Shadow Charge, and you see Diablo with the anti-healing applied to him. The Biologic Emitter, though, keeping him alive, but he's completely isolated. He goes down. There's the VP, trying to gain even more, but Roxa is getting battered. Meister, though, picks up the kill onto Hanzo, who is dropped here. Roxa is setting up for Li Ming so well. Jackpot dropping low, turret coming down onto Wishing as they turn onto A-Doing. As they lose A-Doing, it's the reset again for Li Ming, which could give them huge deja vu of what happened earlier. Good on, that's a bubble half. See you later, nerds. And Urel escapes.
Tetcher, Team GLuck just held this onslaught 5 versus 4. They played it so patiently. I actually thought Team Trogg had this because without Raynor, so much of their damage isn't even there. But they got a little too reckless, they stood too close to the keep, and they paid the blood price for it. And now, look at how much value this Protector got in the meantime. It wasn't even at its full capacity. Only now is the second pilot going to enter.
Propulsion being used there, but Zeratul chasing in onto Angel Wing there. But like you said, they can just drop a second person in here. It's going to be Bison, and they're going to try to end here in a 5 versus 3. Containment is being used. Jackpot trying to dive forward to delay themselves, buy them some time. They bought time for Hanzo to respawn here, who will have Dragon Arrow in 6 seconds. We see Zeratul getting dropped here. Lord Nado getting dropped, but the Protector is doing so much damage. It's going to have to be a miracle to save this game, and no miracles today as Trogg goes down, and it's going to be a 2-1 currently. Still in favor of Troggs, but GLuck still in